it's still part of the historic thing. Thank you, but historic theater, and but yeah, I loved it up there, Birmingham, Michigan. So, well, hello everybody. My name is Don Farrell, and I'm with Actors Theater of Indiana. I want to thank you so much for spending some of your afternoon with us here at ATI for Lunch Break with ATI. I've got my dear friend Ven Tadikonda. We've been talking off before going live right now. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much of a great conversation. As we're talking, I'm thinking we should be talking about this also in the podcast, on the podcast. And so anyway, I can't wait for you to get to know a little bit more about Ven. Ven is he's running for Carmel City Council's West District on May 2nd, and thank you so much for coming and spending some of your lunch break with us today. Welcome to ATI. He's done so much. He and his family, amazing. Entrepreneur, technologist, philanthropist. He's had previous elected positions as a treasurer and a secretary and vice president, board member. So many nonprofit organizations that I see. I mean, between Carmel Education Foundation, India Association of Indianapolis, Indiana Sister City Council, and one of my favorites is Carmel Dads Club, soccer coach. Go Carmel Dads Club. We love that. My daughter played soccer when she was a kid. Yeah. And I just love what that whole organization has done for so many different families.
Yeah. It's a family thing.
Yeah, it's totally a family thing, and they do such great work. So tell me a little bit about you. Tell the gang a little bit about your background. We were talking before going on air that you had moved before coming to Indiana. You were in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
And so what drew you to Indiana?
Let me talk about myself. Like, I'm a technology guy. I mean, like, when we got married, my wife said that she wants to do masters in US, and she already has 2 masters in India. And that was a gift. I want to give it to her on her first anniversary. And we were here at the first anniversary in Detroit, and then she was so disappointed with the city. She said she don't want to do any masters in Detroit. She wanted to go to another city. So we were waiting for an opportunity to go to another city, and then my employer has given an option to go to Florida or Indiana. So initially, I never knew Indiana is going to be like this, but I thought Indiana was going to be like Indiana Jones movie, right? A lot of race, a lot of adventure and stuff like that. I like adventures and then, kind of action. So when we moved here, I mean, we were surprised, but my wife liked it so much because she saw the greenery, and then she saw the what you call cornfields and stuff like that. And then she picked, while coming from Detroit to Indiana, she already picked her university, the Ball State University. So she picked Ball State for her master's in computer science. And then we used to live in Castleton for about 4 years, and we were traveling. I was traveling with my 3-month-old kid, the eldest kid, every day to Muncie to go to the campus. So that's how it started, and then we thought of, okay, I mean, this city looks pretty nice and it's flat, so we don't have any surprises. So that's how we made this home, and then we bought a home in 2004, I think, in Carmel area. And the reason why we moved to Carmel is like the education. So, I mean, my wife has got 4 master's degrees, and I have a graduate in civil engineering. And,
4 masters. Make sure you get this, all right? She's got 2 masters from India and 2 masters here in the United States, and she's working on
PhD in the music research.
What? Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
So, I mean, we are like totally into the education. I mean, we give 200% attention to the education. So that's where, I mean, my dad used to say that, I mean, if you educate a man, he lives for himself. If you educate a girl, she passes the knowledge for generations. So, I mean, like we have 3 daughters and a son, and then a spoiled dog. He changes his parties here and there. So, so we have 2 teams. The one team is my girls' team, like my wife and the girls. They are all music and arts persons. I mean, there are only 2 spectators, me and my son and my dog. My son always wants to play sports. So we always me and my son like sports. And then we always are like outdoors, going to the practices and stuff like that. So my dog, he switches the teams, when he is with the girls, he thinks that he is paying total attention to the arts. And when he is with us, he likes the playing around.
A very well-rounded canine you have.
Correct. Well trained.
We're very well trained, evidently.
Yeah,
What instruments do your daughters play?
My daughter, all three daughters, they play violin, and my wife and my eldest one play veena, which is more like a sitar.
Oh, okay.
They play two instruments, and then they dance and they sing classical songs. In addition to all these, Disney channels, whatever you call it. I don't even play. I don't have a right to make my own choice in the car. They make the choices of playing all the American music. So the interesting thing is, when you grow up in Carmel, you think that they're only listening to the English. No, that's not true. So the music has no language barrier.
Right.
So they listen to all kinds of. They listen to Korean. They listen to the Chinese, and I was really surprised. I mean, I feel like regret. I would have born here so that I know more about the music. Arts has no language limitation, right?
Yes.
So I mean, they enjoy the music, and then without our knowledge, we get to train what the music is. So we attended my eldest one is graduated 2017. So all her elementary, middle, and high school, and then I have two of my daughters still in junior Carmel High.
Okay.
And then my son is in freshman Carmel High School.
All right.
So we almost attend every, recitals or music concerts in Palladium,
At the Palladium.
and then Carmel High School Orchestra.
Oh my gosh! And that Carmel High School Orchestra is amazing.
It's amazing.
They're very good. I was doing an event with the Carmel Symphony Orchestra a couple of weeks ago.
It is.
And I was talking to Jana Himes, the artistic
Yeah.
director and conductor. She's marvelous and dear friend. And she was talking about when she went to Carmel High to do some education with the students. She was amazed at the level of proficiency of the musicians at Carmel High School. My daughter is also in show choir, and they take a lot of pride and they put a lot of work into it too. Obviously, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, my eldest one in high school, she went to Austria, and she was #1 chair playing in Beethoven.
Wow!
So I mean, it's not easy thing. I mean, unless you're competitive. And top performer, it's not easy to go to the first chair.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, I never knew about the chairs before. But the kids teach you a lot than what you learn from the school.
It is, and it's exciting to learn through our children's eyes many times.
It is.
We obviously have a lot of life experience and what we bring to the table as parents, but yeah, that is always an exciting moment. I think that's all part of what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're constantly evolving. We're constantly learning from each other, whether you're older or younger. Then that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, do you have a personal? So I know you're talking about being a spectator and things like that, and obviously seeing your kids do the arts and doing the sports and. From an arts perspective, was there ever a time you were ever involved in any art at all, or did you ever, or your first experience as a patron of the arts or a cultural event? What's memorable from that?
So in India we used to call it as every person knows at least one or other of 64 different arts. So we made as a 64 buckets. That includes painting, that includes the singing, that includes the dancing, and stuff like that. So I was an art teacher. So I had a very good Muslim teacher in my high school, and he introduced the best way of art. I still do the pencil painting, stuff like that, and I write a lot of stories for myself. I never, made it as a stage play. My daughter says that you should try that one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you start with the pencil, and then someone calls you, you just step up. So it never gets completed So you need to know, you need to be focused.
Yes. Yeah.
So focus is the thing that you need in arts. It's not easy thing. And when you have the kids taking you all over the place, drop-offs, pickups, and with the 3 teens and the 3 high school teens, it's not easy. So I think that is the one in my backbench. And my wife always promotes me that you should learn an instrument. So she feels like, we both feel, instead of raising a kid who is good at one thing, make him learn multiple things. So we want to raise children in Carmel who can be a well-rounded music, arts, sports, and then regular education.
Yeah.
So when my kid comes and says, "Hey, I got straight A's," that's not what I want. I want you to be involved in so many other things too. That way you can expand your social network. You can have more friends in different buckets, right? So if you feel bored in your own, like let us say music or school or whatever, you have something else to do with other sports or the basketball or sports or like whatever.
I love that. I think that's a great point about just in general life in and of itself.
Yeah.
You expand your way of thinking by involving yourself and surrounding yourself with people, a variety of different ideas and backgrounds and history and things like that. I think that's marvelous.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot drive a monotonous, way from point A to point B. You need to have a blend of other things too in your life. I mean, you should have something to talk about when you retire.
Well, it sounds like you and your kids are going to have plenty of things to talk about when they all retire.
Exactly.
Way down the road.
Yep.
What do you think about the arts community here in Carmel, Indiana? Was that one of the, you were talking about things that you liked it being flat. So I'm sure that as far as jogging and everything like that, that's been a good thing. It's like, wow, no tough hills too much here in Indiana and Carmel. But what other aspects that drew you to Carmel to say, this is really where we want to plant? There's so many great things about Carmel, as we know. That's why we're all so passionate about it and so invested in the community.
Right.
And I know, obviously, by deciding to run for council, that's also a thing you hold dear.
Yeah.
So what about Carmel was a big drive for you and your wife?
I mean, like we lived in the West Carmel almost 20 plus years now. What we see the difference is we never see a person from the same country or same origin in the West Carmel. So you live in a global city. We don't call it as a Carmel city. We live in a global city.
I love that. Yeah.
So when you live in a global city, you don't need to buy a round trip ticket to another country. You have a neighbor next door. You can talk to them.
Yes.
Right. He don't speak like you, and he don't act like you. He don't. His accent is different, but still, we are trying to communicate with the person. Yeah. If you cannot communicate with your own neighbor or your own community neighborhood, then you cannot communicate with anybody else outside the city. So what we feel is let us raise the kids in a global city rather than going to them. When my daughter was in kindergarten, she used to bring surprised paintings and stuff like that, and she used to talk. So usually what happens is kids open new doors for you, right? I mean, when you have a kindergartner, the girl or boy, whatever, they will show you, hey, Dad, this is my friend. And then she never mentions the country name or the city name or something. So she feels like she's like us. And that kind of mentality will come only when you are with a group of people. So if you introduce them suddenly to a new world and to a new city where there are different people, there are no boundaries now. Right? I mean, people are going all around the country and all around the world to work. I know many of my neighbors who go to India or China, Japan, just stay there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then come back. And they talk a lot about the country and culture. And in last 3 or 4 years, we traveled extensively to Europe, many cities and countries in Europe, and Mexico, and then a lot of other cities too. So what we see the culture, the kind of traditions they adopt, I think those are the things that we need to train our kids early in the life rather than waiting until they grow up and then start.
I completely agree with that. You hit on a couple of different things that I found very interesting. One being a global city. I love that. I haven't really thought about that before, but I completely agree with you. I grew up, like I mentioned, in Georgia, but then spent 14 years in New York City. And one of the things I loved about New York City, the restaurants were great, but and culture and everything like that. And there was a mecca of what was happening at the time. But also it was a melting pot of so many different people of different walks of life, different cultures, different ideas, and I found that fascinating. And I thought that because of that, it would add to the like a powder keg atmosphere. But if you remember back in '92, there was that awful what happened in Los Angeles with Rodney King, and there was a lot of upheaval in nationwide. Not in New York City as I thought, and that's one of the things I find so fascinating about Carmel, Indiana, is that you know here in the middle of the heartland, you have a variety of people of different walks, and just like what you're talking about, global city, I totally agree with you on that. The other thing having to do with the identifying the area where you're going, whether it's Japan or China or what have you, the culture helps identify and give a personality and a uniqueness, quality, identity of that community. And that's why I love what Carmel has done. And getting together, so it's not just the people; it is also the culture. I think that's one of the reasons why so many people flock this way.
That is true. Yesterday I was listening to one of the videos. We have about 75 people from 78 different countries, and then 178 kind of languages that we have in Carmel City. It's a global. We cannot say, hey, you eat this food, you like this language, you do this kind of stuff, you have thing available in here. And arts is the one that has, I think most of the stuff that you do here and in a Palladium, they bring the people from around the country, around the city, so that they get introduced to the culture that we have. We are not just like driving in the same way, one way. You can learn a lot, right? The language, the music, and then the culture and the food. We have the International Fest, and then we have Carmel Fest, where we have every country will represent their own identity here in the Carmel Fest. And I was there for a couple of volunteers too. And they play their instruments, they serve their food, and we call it the exhibition. You see the world in just like 1 week. You buy your own stuff, you eat your own favorite stuff, and then done for the weekend.
But opening that scope, whether it's your culinary tastes or whether it's your cultural, your music tastes or dance or visual arts. I'm also really lucky to be, I was asked to be on the board of the Carmel International Arts Festival. So always been a fan of the Carmel International Arts Festival and all of the different artists that it, but as Carmel continues building that global city, looking at more of the international representation at events like that, and on stage or in the concert hall or what have you. One of the things that since there's such a big election going on this year, it's very exciting, right? There's a lot of change that's going to happen. Obviously, Mayor Brainerd has his vision and what's happened with the council and the city being behind that and helping really truly shape an identity for our community that we're all able to prosper and enjoy. What in moving forward, because I know we have the primary on May 2nd, right? May 2nd, yes, May 2nd. And then the election in November. But where do you see as far as arts? I know sports is important, arts is important. I was at the debate last night and I found that interesting. To be able to hear those who are running for mayor, but also from a council's perspective in the arts and what I think there was a question asked about the 1%. And do you see that as a continuance type of thing important to the city? Do you see it higher, lower? What do you see as far as moving forward for the betterment of the community?
What I feel is like right now the contribution towards arts is a lot less. It's not just a city government, and it is a responsibility of every organization. Like every businesses across the country, across the city. There are so many international organizations are owned by the international people, like CEOs and technology officers, and also other religious groups and stuff like that. So let us bring all of them to one platform. Like we do like International Fest once in a year. If you can do that something outside the downtown. And there are many times that we want to do too many things in the downtown. You cannot do that because the schedule gets filled up pretty fast. Everybody cannot come the same time to the Carmel downtown. So you need to diversify and then distribute those fun places across the city or district level.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, there are so many places we can do. I mean, we have so many parks nearby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you set up a festival there, international festival.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go to any elementary school, they always have an international festival.
Mm-hmm.
The teeny tiny little ones, they bring all kinds of, flavors to the city.
Sure.
To the school. So we do this. We can do the same thing too. I mean, arts means, like as I said, it's a global arts or global music. I mean, there are so many people. These things will happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go to Indianapolis downtown, they invite us, people from Carmel, people from Fishers, go all the way to the downtown, to Indianapolis downtown to perform there in the Children's Museum or stuff like that. So we can do all of those stuff in Carmel too, but the thing is we need a venue, which is not busy like, So I guess the contribution can be there. Not only from the government, from the other business. So my wife runs a music school, and like that, there are tons of the people who run that music school. I know a lady from Russia who runs a music school called Violin.
Yeah.
And she has about 60 or 70. There is a piano school that is across on Michigan Road, and they run their own music school. Set up a platform from them. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, we always find sponsors ready to, do the stuff, but you need to put a platform from them. I mean, I think Carmen Downtown is a good place to do it, but there are so many things happening in the downtown.
Well, you mentioned about the park. We have amazing parks here in Carmel, and I every time I go, and I try to go to as many different ones as possible. I know, because I can't believe how many there are. There's really a lot of great parks.
And we are blessed.
Very blessed.
Yeah,
very
blessed that we have the parks to walk. We have the pails, curbs to walk and then ride the bikes. I think we should have a place and venue to distribute and then spread the word. I guess there will be more sponsors. I mean, whenever we want to do something like related to music or arts, there are so many people who are ready to jump in and then do the sponsorship there. But if you want to do it in the Carmen downtown, they think, oh, this is far away from home. I mean, because they feel like district is more local to them rather than city. Right. And then you need to find a parking spot. Now it is so busy here. You come here only Friday evening. My son hangs out here all weekend. Yeah. And then he gets tired and then comes back. So does my high school kids. But I mean, they have something to do. But as an adult, as a grown-up, as a music lover, and as an artist lover, right? I mean, you got to do something for your own self too. Sure. So you go to Palladium probably 1 day or 2 days in a week for a specific event. But there are a lot that can, I mean, I think you need to make a platform for the international events. I mean, there are a lot of music stuff that is coming from different countries. There is a lot of art that is there in the different countries. We need to promote all of those at the district level, and then comes the city, right? I think we are doing so far so good on the we are in the cruise ship for 20 years, and then we will see how it works.
Yes, cruising for the last 20 years, and sometimes the waves are a little bit rough sometimes, and they smooth out, and we'll see how the cruise continues on for the next.
Exactly.
But Ven, I said Tadikonda. Ven, thank you so much for spending your time with us today at ATI. Thank you for all that you've done for the community, and also you're a philanthropist. Is there any type of are these the organizations that you've been as far as philanthropy?
Yeah. So
I want just to talk. I know we're running out of time, but I find it so important. Because we're a 501c3 organization, so philanthropy is vital to the existence of ATI and all arts organizations, really. Can you speak a little bit about your philosophy on philanthropy?
Like when my daughter became doctor, she was in the in-state IU School of Medicine. Me and my wife thought we should give it back to the school. I mean, she is in the public school, but still got an in-state admission. We thought, we started our own scholarship event in the Carmel Education Foundation.
Oh, okay.
And we give that every year. And then I want to make that as a habit for our next generation too. Our kids, our children, that you should be part of this one. So it goes for whole life. Wow. Our life and their life too. Yeah. So the scholarship goes on and on. Whether we are here or not, that goes on and on. Yeah. So we do a lot of sponsorship for the Carmel Orchestra and symphony stuff like that. I didn't know that you are also a 501c, but
We are.
we'll think about it.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank
That
you.
would be thinking
We
about it.
appreciate the
Sure.
consideration.
Sure.
Well, best of luck to you. It's so nice to get to know you more. I hope you've gotten to know a little bit more about Ven Tadikonda, and we want to thank you so much for spending some of your time, very valuable time, with Actors Theater of Indiana. We hope to see you at the theater. We've got a big show opening up. We start our rehearsals April 11th. And it's for the world premiere of Mr. Confidential.
Wow.
And it'll be April 28th, running April 28th to May 14th at the Studio Theater at the Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets are going, and they're selling like hotcakes, so jump there at 317-843-3800 to buy tickets, and we look forward to seeing you at the theater. Have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Get ready for the feast to the eyes and ears.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're right from Ben. Have a good one.
Thank you.